Delighted to speak to Chris Kirkland. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. Now, yeah, been a tough few years and stuff, but yeah, I'm as we sit here today, I'm really, really good.
That's fantastic. We'll talk about it as we go. First of all, what are you up to?
So I work for Liverpool Foundation now. So I'm the ambassador in the area. So do different things, employability into schools, coaching, food banks. So I sort of go where I'm needed. So I absolutely love that kind of work. I was sort of at a loss and wondering what I wanted to do. Didn't really want to get back involved in football. So this is something that I really love doing. And then involved with quite a few other charities and fundraising and bits and bobs. But yeah, keeping busy is key.
Liverpool's your team, isn't it?
It is my first game. Can you not tell? I've got me morning cup of tea with me.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I'm loving that.
My first game, was when I was 7 years old. I used to stand in the Kop with my dad. We used to get the bus up from Hinckley in Leicestershire. So yeah, always been a Liverpool fan and lucky enough to play for them, and now lucky enough still to be involved with the club.
Where did the Liverpool connection come through? Was it your dad was a fan, or how did that come about?
The red candy kit. So seen it on the TV. All my family were Leicester fans. I seen the red candy kit when I was 7 years old. Well, earlier than that, probably when I was about 5, and yeah, hooked on Liverpool from then.
I always think of the red candy kit with Jan Molby squeezed into that shirt. I hope he's not watching. I'm just kidding. Who's your?
I do some stuff with Jan. So it's great. Another thing with the foundation and the club, I get to work with players I used to watch as a kid. So I get to work with them type of players now. Ian Rush, John Aldridge, Kenny, Jan. So it's brilliant for me to work with people I grew up standing watching in the Kop.
Brilliant. I must admit, I know what you mean. I got asked. It must be a couple of years ago now. I lose track, but I had to host a lounge at Anfield, and somebody rang me up and said, "Would you host a lounge at Anfield?" I said, "I'd run." to host a lounge, and it was like Roy Evans, John Aldrich, Bruce, Terry McDermott,
Callie was there, Ian Callahan.
Like they actually paid me for it. I was like, please. I mean, it was just incredible. Steve McMahon.
Yeah, well, I do that stuff on match days as well. So with the club on match days, I do the stuff in the lounges and get to work, as I said, see Bruce and all the players. It's great to see them and chat with them, and they're all brilliant people that do great stuff for the club still.
Okay, we'll talk more about Liverpool as we go. You have been struggling, haven't you? I mean, I first became aware of your struggles in an article in The Guardian, which was very moving, fascinating. Can you explain what's been happening with you?
Yeah, so it started when I signed for Liverpool 2001. Moved up to the area. I was at Liverpool for 5 years, Wigan for 6 years. Same area, same 15 minutes to Wigan, 15 minutes to Liverpool. When a daughter come along, I could pick her up, drop her off at school. All the important things. Go and see the school plays. And then I left Wigan and signed for Sheffield Wednesday, but we didn't want to commute. Didn't want to move, so I commuted. And it was just it started from there really. Long hours. 2 days before the first game as well. Now I wasn't injured the last 2 years at Wigan. I just wasn't playing. I wasn't preferred, but I was fit. So I signed for Sheffield Wednesday, and everyone was saying, "Oh, why they signed him? He's not played for 2 years. Obviously not fit." And I wasn't. I was probably as fit as I could be. But ironically, 2 days before the first game for Sheffield Wednesday, I did get a back spasm, and I thought, my God, if I don't play Saturday, I'm going to get crucified, and everyone's going to be saying, "Look, told you why they signed him." So managed to get hold of some painkillers, tramadol, and they didn't only help me play on the Saturday, but they helped me with the anxiety of being away from home, travelling, long hours on my own, change of routine after 11 years. And it sort of progressed from there. And at the start, you only use them. I said, right, I'll only use them when I go over there when my back's sore. But like any addiction, it becomes quickly. You get hooked very quickly. And I think I knew after about 3 months, I could tell the difference when I didn't take them to when I did. My body felt lethargic and stuff like that. Anxiety was through the roof, and it just progressed really over the 3 years at Sheffield Wednesday. That's why I left in 2015 to come back to the Northwest. Thought that would help, that would change my routine. I could go back to myself, but I was way too gone by then, and ended up retiring in 2016 through mental health, but through the tablets. Got off them for about 8 months, and then I started to miss the routine of being a footballer. Started to miss it all. Went back on them, and then I went away to rehab in 2019, and that's the real reason I went away to rehab, to get off the tablets. Got off them again, and then lockdown hit, and I couldn't get the treatment on my back because I've always had a sore back. I couldn't get the treatment, so I went back on them like a lot of people turned to different things during lockdown with how tough it was. Went back on them, but yeah, 5 months ago, I knew that I wouldn't be here much longer if I carried on doing what I was doing. I was taking ridiculous amounts. I mean, somebody told me the other day it was the equivalent when I was on 2,500 milligrams of tramadol. You only meant to take 400 milligrams a day. I was on 2,500. It's the equivalent of 10 shots of heroin. Now, I didn't know that until the other day, which really, really shocked me, but it shouldn't surprise me. But I knew I needed to do something, and that's why I come out and said. But what we've done this time is, and what the rehab place told me to do the second time, was set things up at home, tell people, get the support network around you. You can't do it on your own. My wife's got drug tests now in the kitchen. She can test me anytime, which is obviously knowing that we've spoke to the doctors. The doctors can't give me anything without speaking to the owner. The postman knows never to give me any envelopes or anything like that because I was getting them off the internet. So we've set things up now, and it was 5 months on Sunday, and it's I feel great. It's tough. It really is tough. There's some days you think, oh my God, especially when the back is sore, we get anxious like we always do. But as we sit here now, I feel great and probably fitter than I ever have done as well.
How low did you get?
Well, yeah, I mean, it ended up with me standing on a roof in Portugal. I left Preston in 2016. I thought, oh, that's me done, because I was bad, really bad. Then that was when I was on like 2,500 a day. But the professionalism kicks in. Then you think, right, just a new change. Go to Bury. No pressure. Just go there, and you can get back into your routine. We went away pre-season to Portugal. I thought this is just not going to. I didn't want to go away. I was petrified about being away from home. Obviously, then the tablets. When you use that sort of stuff for so long, they have a reverse effect. They just make you mentally mad. They just, they don't work in the end. You're taking that much, you're just damaging your brain and damaging your thoughts. And yeah, just ended up standing on a roof in Portugal. I was going to jump off, but felt a pull back. Obviously, no one was there, but I knew it was my wife and my daughter. And that was the first time when I rang my wife straight away and said, look, I'm addicted to painkillers. Flew home the very next day, made an excuse to bury. Flew home the next day, and that's when the first time I asked for help. But that's my message now to people. And yeah, I've been back on, but I didn't set things up like I have done now. I've not got the support network around me like I have got it home now at work, and everybody knows now. And that's why I needed so to try and stay in recovery, you can't have any secrets. And that's why, it wasn't for sympathy. It weren't for whatever it was when I come out and said it. It was purely for the fact that I still felt weighed down, that I had this big secret and I needed it to get out there to stay in recovery.
It's good to talk is the message, is what you're saying. I guess it must have been a huge decision, because you're Chris Kirkland, footballer. You don't want it's not admitting a weakness, but I guess when you did it, it was the overriding sense was relief.
Oh, massive, yeah, man. You've just said it there. I mean, we're involved with a walking's brilliant charity called Walking and Talking Charity Hikes, and that's exactly what it's about. Opening up, talking to people, sharing your problems, and it was such a relief. We had to wait a little bit. We wanted to wait till the school term had finished, so Lucy was out of school for a few weeks to let things die down a little bit. But yeah, it was. Listen, I wish I'd have done it years ago. But we always say that in hindsight. You always wish. But listen, it's done now. It's out there. I've been over 5 months now with clean, not that, any hiccups at all, and hopefully that's the way it'll stay now.
I did an interview with Stephen Reed the other day, who's making an own documentary. Who once again it's almost like he admits. He said he really struggled as a footballer. He said most amazing thing. He said he had a panic attack one time when he was actually playing. Which, if anybody's had a panic attack, it almost beggars belief. Do you think, not so much the modern day, more and more people are actually going, do you know what, I struggled?
Yeah.
Admitting. Do you find that when you go out and speak to people?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Reed. He's a great lad.
Great guy.
Yeah, been speaking to him quite a bit. We've sort of leaned on each other over the last couple of years, and he stepped away obviously now from football. We spoke about that. I think he's done the right thing for now. Hopefully, once he gets better and he can get back involved, because he's a cracking lad. But it just goes to show, because I'd have never said that about Stephen Reid years ago. You've seen him happy, always gets on with everyone, still does. Great guy. But yeah, and this wasn't just for football. Obviously, I owe football everything, and it was football that not football, but it was the circumstances that sent me the way it did, with the travelling and stuff. But it's for society. The amount of people that we're friends with that have come out since and said, "Yeah, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to cocaine. I'm addicted to alcohol. I'm addicted to sleeping pills." There's a big problem in football. We all know that. Big, massive problem in rugby. We all know that, with painkillers, and there is in football with sleeping pills, painkillers. Because listen, that's the way it was back in the day. You get given a shot, you get given an injection, you get given tablets. They're on a table in the dressing room before the game. Not the stronger stuff. You had to get that sort of stuff, but you could get it. But listen, I got mine away from football. And people are saying, well, how do you stop it? Yes, you can. You can make sure that nothing else is. I think it's just about to become on the ban list as well, tramadol, which is great. I think that's just about to be announced soon. But I got it outside of football, so there's got to be things set up now. Like I said, my wife's got drug tests in the other room. She can test me now, and within 10 seconds, you'll know if I'm on. I mean, it tests for everything. So we need to do more to stop it in sport, because sport now, football particularly, is a business. And we know with business people, they do anything sometimes to get their assets out on the pitch, and it's wrong. But in society as well, and particularly over the last 2.5 years with what's happened with the pandemic, there's so many people that are struggling and turn to alcohol and turn to drugs to get us through an horrendous time. So the more people that can come out, and that's sometimes why you can use your profile to the good sometimes. Sometimes you can't, but sometimes with things like this. And that's why I wanted to do. And another reason was, the work I do in and around the community. They have drug awareness days. They have, going into schools. And if I wouldn't have said anything, I couldn't have helped there. I'd have been sitting there thinking, you should be saying something here. You could be helping people here. And that's why I come out and said what I did to be able to do things like that going forward.
Brilliant. Is it a struggle? Is it tough? How do you cope?
Routine, structure, day by day. That's it. Yeah, day by day routine. Some days don't even think about it. Some days you do, but routine is key. Exercise, massive. As I said, we were walking with the Walking's Brilliant lads yesterday, filming summit, meeting up with them. We have golf days. We do a lot for charity. Big Mark Crosley set it up. So keeping busy is key, and keep reminding yourself. But just day by day, Rob, you can't think too far ahead with stuff like this, because that's when you can panic and struggle and think, oh my God, I don't know if I can get to that point. But just anyone that is, just day by day, but you need that support network around you. The amount of times I said, right, I'll stop on Monday, right, I'll do it myself. I don't need to tell anyone. I can do this. I must have said that a million times. You can't do it on your own. You need that support network around you.
Did your dad ever give you any bit of that 10,000 quid he won on you?
No, joking at you. I get asked about that all the time, and he put it on. And this is the truth, by the way. So I was an outfield player, never any good. I was always on the bench, and I was the only one on the bench as an outfield. As I was the only one on the bench, the goalkeeper got injured. Because I was the only one on the bench, he said, "Well, you're gonna have to go in goal." The manager did. So I went in goal, made a couple of saves, and it was after that game my dad put the bet on. And the odds were poor, really. It was 100 to 1, and they couldn't put any more than £100 on, which is shocking. I always said to my dad, if I'd have gone in the bookies with him, he'd have probably got about 1,000,000 to 1, because back then, back then when I was 13, 14, I wasn't in the best shape, and I did not look like a goalkeeper at all. But no, he never told me about it. The first I heard about it, well, he kept it in his pants drawer for 13 years. The only time I found out was the day before the England, when I got asked, and I said, listen, I can't answer that because I've not got a clue what you're going on about. And I rang my dad and I said, look, is this true? He went, yeah. He said, don't worry about that though, just, enjoy the game. So yeah, it was true. But yeah, I'm gutted I didn't go in the shot with him, because he'd have got certainly a lot more odds than he did.
Hey, do you know what, Chris? Lovely talking to you. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it, and best of luck to you as well.
Top man. Thanks a lot, mate. Great seeing you again.